Hey, this is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and this week I finally get my turn behind the wheel of the Lexus LX 600. Somebody went on the first drive, and we already have a video up on the channel of that first drive experience, so be sure, we'll put it up here somewhere. Be sure to click on that if you want his opinion. But this is my first time behind the wheel, and I just wanted to have the chance to check it out because I think this design is incredibly bold. I stepped behind the wheel and there's some things that I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to take it off-road a little bit, and we're going to talk about that. So yeah, let's take a closer look right now. And yeah, I'm gonna throw it to this guy because he's got a spec sheet in his hand.
All right, I got the spec sheet, right? We have a 2022 Lexus LX 600. This is a luxury edition, and I believe there's several different trims. I don't believe this is the highest trim, so it doesn't have the bucket seats back there. You can get bucket seats that actually fold up. They put your legs up. It's like sitting in a rocking chair.
A luxury level limo?
No, not a rocking chair, like a recliner.
Limo.
Yes. 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 409 horsepower. Interestingly, that is the same engine in the Toyota Tundra, but in this case we have more horsepower and we have more torque. I think the torque is a different torque curve because I think premium fuel. So 10-speed automatic transmission, this full-time four-wheel drive. This thing is a beast. It replaces the LX 570, which didn't really make a lot of sense. But this LX 600 is, to me, makes a lot more sense.
Why?
Well, it's not as basically the same as Toyota Land Cruiser. To me, it's a little bit different in its styling, a little bit different in its amenities, and actually stands out a little bit better to me. Because it used to be Lexus LX 570 and Land Cruiser about the same, and you really couldn't tell any product didn't make sense. You had a better dealership experience with Lexus, but you really didn't have anything that was like stood out to me.
Okay.
The thing that does stand out to me is our price point here. This vehicle, as equipped, is $105,980. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a couple of pennies. We do have... That's
a house.
It is.
That is a house.
We have four-wheel drive in this. We do have active air suspension in this, which is cool. And we have the 22-inch forged alloy wheels, active height control, which is, again, that's the air suspension. And so that's the only option. So this is interesting. It has basically, well, $1,600 in options. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I will say that is the bonus of getting a vehicle like this is it's a WYSIWYG, it's a what you see is what you get. So, they're not making you do a whole lot of pricey options. They're actually including everything in the vehicle. And so that, I think, is really nice. Ugh, stop start, yuck. Where's the button? Where's the button?
I'm not sure.
Ha, okay. We gotta turn that off immediately. If you've seen previous Jill rants, that is not a favorite feature of mine. I actually kind of hate it. Because it's kind of hot today in Texas, and you know what what it does, the auto stop start does, when it turns your engine off, it mutes your HVAC button.
Yeah.
That is my biggest beef. I mean, that and the whole, living in Chicago and I need to turn into traffic, so it delays my ability to do that turn. That I don't like, but the HVAC system, that is a big turnoff for me.
One thing that's cool with this, we have the cool box in here. Now, this I thought was stupid, but it actually is really nice. It's interesting with Lexus, you can do both sides. Okay,
but you just did something there that is a problem for me.
Why?
Because, put it back down. Where's the button for me to open it?
Well, yes.
I'm like...
You have a difficult seating position, yeah.
I would much rather have two buttons in the front here so I could press this button and take it this way or that way or whatever, but I'd rather have the buttons here than having them here because for my seating position, it's no bueno.
I would agree. But the point I want to make on this is...
The point is not another Jill rant. The point is, woo! Ow! That's cold!
Is Rebel Rally, Jill, that you're doing later this fall.
I know.
I can tell you what, this cool box... In the course of a rally, it's really nice, really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it until I did some multi-day off-roading, and then you're all fight over that box.
Yeah.
Over here, we have some controls. We have the This is the air suspension, up or down.
Yeah.
You do have you can lower it to get in and out easier. You have traction control. We have the locking center differential. This is the hold button. This is interesting. We actually use that right now. So what that does is, here, put it in gear.
It's in gear.
In gear. Okay, now press,
like it is in gear.
press hold. Take your foot off the brake.
Yeah. So
it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know we have the parking brake there too. So what it does is it holds that.
So like I'm driving right now.
Right.
I take my foot off I put my foot on the brake. So I take my foot off the gas, put my foot on the brake. Then I can take my foot off the brake, and the vehicle won't move. It's like an automatic brake hold.
It's like I think of a lot like LA traffic. Certain.
That actually, I'm going to tell you, in stop and go traffic, that button needs not be on because in Chicago, I mean, we don't have LA level traffic, but in Chicago, as soon as the vehicle comes to complete stop, then the brake hold is on, and then you try to go, and it's almost like you have to push the accelerator and then push it a little bit harder to kind of get over that hump of having the brake hold on. So it's then you like accelerate too fast, and then you're slamming on the brake again, and then it stops. So to me, like in stop and go traffic, that is not ideal. Where that would be ideal for me is in a suburban location. You're at a red light, you come to a railroad crossing, and there's a railroad or a train going, and you're going to be there for a couple of minutes, and you can, you're not putting it in park, but you can just take your foot off and kind of relax for a hot minute while you're waiting for the situation to change. Stop and go traffic is not the appropriate place for that button.
So we really don't know why you use that button.
I
think that but I've had Toyota vehicles. I've owned them.
Some people love it. So
like the Tundra we have for the channel.
Just a little bit of a I don't know.
We have it on I just never used it. It's interesting.
I mean I leave it on occasionally just to kind of see what it does, but like you have to come to a full stop, so you do have to push your foot. It's not like one pedal driving where you can just take your foot off the accelerator. You have to physically come to the stop for this to activate. So like in stop and go traffic, like to me that's just a little bit herky-jerky. But again, stoplights, I see the use case for it at a stoplight. I see the use case for it at railroad crossing when you're going to be like, it's more than just a stop sign, or stop and go traffic. So,
okay, so moving on, we have
moving on.
Different drive
Shut
modes.
Up, Jill, is basically what that was.
We have sports, we have normal, we have comfort, and it changes here and here, which is interesting. You can see it on screen. We have eco, and then we have the different. This is multi-train select, and so you can select different train. It'll raise you up and lower you depending what's going on. The crawl control, now this uses the brakes and gas, and basically it's off-road cruise control. It'll actually modulate all that stuff and keep you under control. This is DAC, which is downhill assist control. I mean, if you go down a steep decline, it actually will hold you and let you go down, again, more like cruise control. DAC and crawl control, you can do different speeds with that, because crawl control is only limited to certain speeds, but they're basically the same kind of idea is what's going on. And then we have the bigger screen up here, which is interesting. We have the start button on that screen. I thought it was interesting.
It is.
It's really, I mean, they could put it down there, but the only place they could put it elsewhere. But
that to me is a little bit of an awkward location. It's reachable, and granted, you're only going to press it once. It's not like you're sitting here and you're like pressing it all the time, but it is a little bit of a reach. I want to also point out this is a touch screen, so there is no touch controller going on. And so that screen is also, depending on your driving position, it could potentially be a little bit of a reach, to be able to lean forward. So maybe not something that you're going to want to do while you're driving. Since we're on the interior, I want to talk about this. I got in the car and I looked at this and I was like, what in the Sam Hill is going on here? And it looks awful when it's black, like when the vehicle is off. I will say it does look a little bit better with the screens on, but this looks to me like this was supposed to be the navigation, and then they just tucked a tab on top. So I need a moment to get used to what this looks like, but my first reaction was very unfavorable.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion about this?
I don't love it, and what I don't love about it is I don't love that it cuts down on the windshield as far as visibility.
It doesn't cut down on the visibility for me, because basically I can still see the hood over the top of that.
I thought you wanted my viewpoint.
Sorry. Hey Tim, what do you think? Let me tell you what I think.
It stands out to me a little bit. It's a little bit distracting.
Okay.
And again, white screen background. I always change my stuff to black screen background because I always feel like white's a little bit distracting.
Okay.
I don't love it, but here's the deal with this is when you do the higher trim levels, there are multiple screens back here.
Okay.
And to me, it all makes sense because now you have multiple screens, and so it all plays together, right?
Right.
But if you get this trim level, which is just luxury trim, we don't have the multiple screens. It does stand out as being awkward because you don't have it elsewhere. And I think that was the difference for me is the vehicles I drove had multiple screens and it looked a little bit different. But hey, I'm gonna hop out and spend a hot minute giving you some video.
I should tell you, we're sitting in line waiting to go up a hill. We're on an off-road course. We're waiting to go up a hill, and so we're not just sitting here like.
Well, we kind of are, but anyway.
But we're waiting to do something, and so he's gonna get out and shoot video now.
Right, and you can.
I can
talk
maybe
about me on camera.
I would never do that.
Phil, video editor Phil, edit all this stuff.
Highlight it. No, I mean, Phil could either keep this in or not keep this in, but what I want to say is the banter you see here is all in good fun, and we have a great time together. We're not married. That is actually a question we get all the time, but, you know, we poke fun at each other and do the little jabs as fun because we're friends and we've been friends for a while. So, yeah, all this is in good fun. No feelings were hurt in the filming of this video. But so this is the LX. Back to the conversation. This is the LX, and it's my first time sitting in it, and I will say that the seats are very comfortable. They feel good, which I would expect from Lexus. I'm getting the move ahead, so we're gonna start driving up this hill. I'm gonna put down my window so I can get any directions I need, I would like to drive this on-road, but we'll see how it does off-road. Whee! Okay, that didn't really feel like a challenge. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm assuming that Tim is out there getting B-roll, but that was just like, I didn't even feel that. So, I mean, maybe I'll do that in another vehicle and maybe it's much more, but because there were like little off-camber moguls, and yeah, it just kind of felt like I was, let's go for a walk. It didn't feel like anything. So, air suspension, whatever it was very smooth. So, we have another obstacle coming up, and this is definitely more of an off-camber, like sideways hill, and so it'll go like this, and then it'll go like that, and then you go up and, you know, kind of up and over. So I'm gonna assume this is gonna do very well. But that, I mean, it was just like, let's just go for a walk in the park. Now, it's funny because I see the Tacoma behind me, and it's going much more like this, where I feel like this just kind of la 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 la. Yeah, so one of the things I really love on this vehicle is the cameras, because you can really see where your tires are hitting, and you can just kind of walk up and you can kind of look and make sure you're not going to fall off the hill, because that would be important. You can also make sure that your wheels aren't going to go over anything sharp and jagged. And you know, as we're going up now, this is a really steep incline, and I can just see the sky. So those cameras are super duper helpful. And then we just kind of edge over, and I see our spotter in the end. And we're just gonna, woo, this is deep water. And we don't know what's under here, so you've always got to take this slow, because with all the rocks around, you got to assume there's also rocks. And we're just gonna kind of walk up here. Well, that did well. Through all this, and this is slippery now, and it's not slipping really. I'm impressed.
Same track where you tried to make me throw up last year.
I'm only going 25, it's fine.
It says 30 on there.
Now it's 28.
Speed
Get
demon.
your eyes checked.
Mario Ciminillo.
He did say it could go 30. I'm just saying. And I feel like last year was a little bit dusty, so we had more
Yeah.
slippage fun.
This is gonna get, well, this is gonna get nasty as the day goes on. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so Jill's clearly having too much fun. I will tell you there's an F Sport version of this. There's luxury premium, something or other they call it. We'll put the grades on the video. And yeah, you know, I don't know how you're feeling, but I was surprised how well it handles for such a big vehicle. This thing's like,
this is a mammoth vehicle.
This is probably 6,000-7,000 pounds. I mean, it's heavy.
And it feels a lot lighter, and it drives a lot smaller than you think. And I like it. I think it was smooth over the moguls. It climbed up the hill like a dream. I don't know who's going to take a $105,000 car off-road, but just the fact that you can pretty much go anywhere in this is a nice little gimme. And yeah, it's smooth, it's comfortable. I can't wait to drive this on road, actually. All right, so that's what we have for Jill's adventures in the Lexus LX 600. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com, and we will see you down the road.